now. Hold on. Yeah, it was just nice, Davey. It was like I'll have to get myself sorted and go on a plane, like, because I mean, missing out on these holidays, man.
Are they back now, like?
Aye, they came back on Friday.
Right.
Oh, just put the heater on in the conservatory. It's getting cold now. Yeah, it was just nice, Davey. It was like I'll have to get myself sorted. So we are live now. Anyway, so welcome along.
Good evening, everybody.
Welcome along, Davey. You all right, mate?
Yes, very good. It's nice sitting at the top of the league.
It certainly is, isn't it? It certainly is. I'm just getting this thingy sorted out. 2 seconds. But yeah, it's great. Like, were you pleased with the Hull City performance, Dave?
Not really the performance, but Bobby Madley had a good game, didn't he?
Aye. Fantastic.
We should have him every game.
You know, like, but I mean, it's nice when them results go, or then decisions go your way. Do you know what I mean?
Well, aye. We've had plenty of decisions going the other way. Plenty. It was a cracking goal, mind you.
Yeah, it just seemed to happen out of nowhere, didn't it?
It was a cracking finish.
Do you know what impressed me was he was being caught up. I thought he was going to get caught, and then he sort of did a switcheroo, went back, and then he went forward again, and it totally bamboozled the defender. And,
you remind me of Ross Stewart.
Aye, and that little dink. It was just that little dink with the keeper, man.
Yeah.
It was lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah, Stewart. It's the first time we've scored a goal like that for about 2.5 years. Because we've never had a centre forward who can score goals like that.
Well, he's soon becoming a fan's. He's soon becoming a fan's favourite, though, isn't he, if he carries on doing that?
Aye.
Excuse a second, I'm just turning this heating down in the conservatory. I put it up too high. Oh, it's a good electric heater, like, but crikey, it doesn't take long to heat up. That'll do. Aye, but it was a goal that sort of came out of nowhere, wasn't it?
They were putting the pressure on. I mean, we defended well. Patterson wasn't. He didn't have save after save to make. I mean, I just realised when I watched the match back, he never touched the ball with his hands, Stuart, other than like goal kicks.
That's right.
Till the 49th minute.
That's right.
It's amazing that, like, isn't it?
Oh, it is, when you think of it, really.
He never dealt with the cross. He never had a shot at him up till the 49th minute.
They just looked dangerous, Hull. I mean, I says on Total Sport today, I says to Danny Collins, I says, it's great we're top of the league. I said, but there's still just something not quite right with the lads. We're doing well. I said, but there's just something not quite right. There's like, we just need that little fine tuning. As I thought, as you've seen it as well, I thought Hull City looked the more dangerous when they went forward.
Well, that's because we were like pretty wide open at the back. We played a funny system, didn't we? Where was Luke O'Neill playing?
I have no idea. Not his usual position, was it?
He was bombing into the box in that, wasn't he?
He was, aye.
And then when the move broke down, we were short at the back and they were hitting us on the break.
Yep. It was just weird. It was just like every time they came forward, it was like, we were just open at the back. I mean,
right. You know who was frustrated us all day? Patrick Roberts. Yeah. Why would he not take his man on?
I don't know. I mean,
I've never seen a winger get as much space in my life as he got.
Yeah. And he seemed to stop, didn't he? He went.
Aye.
And rather than trying to skin his man, he seemed to just stop. Either get beat.
Knock at the rig. Stop, knock at the rig. And then Rig knocks it back to him.
Aye. And then by the time they're doing that, they've got everybody behind the ball.
See So that's the big disadvantages of having two lads playing on the right who are left-footed.
Yeah, of course it is.
Because they're not going to swing the ball another.
No. Not at all, not at all. Just going to say hello to some of the guys on chat who are just coming in.
Yeah.
He says, Jamie Bell, hello Jamie. He says, how are we doing, lads? Hope you're both well. Paul Graham says, all right, lads. Billy GW, hello, mate. Nice to see you. He says, hello, lads. Happy days. John Nesbitt's in the house. Hello, John. A very top of the league evening to you guys. Davey's friend, Pastor Alex, is in. He says, hello, Mr. Cabbie and Mr. Davey. He says, how are you on this excellent day?
Very good. I hope your fire stick's working.
I hope your fire stick's working. And David Joblin, hello, mate. He says, good evening, Stuart and Davey. But yeah, going back to like the Roberts carry on, and it was, and that's what I mean. There's just something still not quite clicking for Sunderland.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, we're top of the league, but unless we get that fine tuned and sorted out, then I cannot see us being top of the league for much longer. I think we'll come undone, but we really need to sort out how we're going, how we're attacking, because we had plenty of that ball, Davey, especially first half.
No, plenty of the ball round the box, though.
Yeah, no.
But not very much went into the box.
No, we're doing what Man City does when not to the full extent of that, but you know that game when they played Arsenal, we're down to 10 men, and it was just left, right. It was like, you know. But as you said, Davey, why isn't Patrick Roberts having a gun, skinning his man, getting a cross in?
And that because he can't cross it where he's right. He's laid goals on before where he's right.
Well, you know, or do what he used to do a couple of seasons ago, drop his shoulder, get a little sniff on goal, and have a crack.
Aye.
You never.
We're not shooting very much, are we?
We're not. But how many times did we used to see Patrick Roberts, though, do that? He gets a sniff on goal, he has a shot, he has a crack at it, and he scored.
Look at that goal he scored against Watford. He hasn't threatened to do that since.
No, I know. But that's what we need to sort out. I mean, don't forget, we've still got a couple of players we've still not seen. Are you surprised Lesich is still not getting a run out?
Well, there just hasn't been the opportunity. I don't think he wants to play him when the result's still in doubt.
Right.
And he just hasn't had the chance where we've been either 2 or 3 down or 2 or 3 up. His chance will come, man.
Yeah, it's been nervy. I mean, they had a couple of chances, didn't the whole? I mean, a few poor finishes by then. You know, there was a couple of shots went into Rose Head and a header over the bar, but you know they did have a cracking shot, didn't they? That hit the crossbar.
All right. Well, he should have scored. Really.
It was like it was like the angle, wasn't it? It was the top corner. It was a cracking shot. But apart from that, even though Hull looked dangerous now and again, I was quite comfortable with Sunderland. I mean, how good was Mackem?
Amazing. That's his best game, I think. He just seemed to read every through ball, didn't he?
Every through ball, he was there, and they were just like running into a door. The door was just getting shut in the face.
Aye.
And he wasn't making the massive tackles or out like that. He was just there to put a foot in to say, "I'm stopping you doing that."
Aye. He'll be tested on Wednesday, though, mind you.
I'm dreading playing Luton. I hate it down there, like.
Yeah, it's just a completely different game of football, isn't it?
The pitch is narrower, apparently.
They just have everybody over 6 foot plays for them.
The day.
And they're all big, muscly blokes. That I think if we come away with anything on Wednesday night, it's a great result.
Oh God, aye. And I'm not going to be too disheartened if they do lose against Luton, because I mean they got a good win. Was it 3-0 against Watford? But I don't. They've had a poor start, but a bit like Plymouth at home. I don't think there's going to be many teams going to Kenilworth Road and getting results. I really don't think there'll be many.
I don't know what the record at home this season is, but they must have lost some. Because the 17th.
But I've always said
they're just the type of team we struggle against because of the physicality.
Yeah, That's
We're
it.
we're a football team. There's no doubts whatsoever. We're a football team. They know that, and they'll just have it up in the air as often as they can.
Yeah, well, just a bit like the playoffs when they just muscled us out the tie, didn't they?
Yeah.
Um,
I would play Ballard on Wednesday, like if he's fit.
would you?
I'll play 3 centre halves, definitely.
I still think Luton Town will be up there in the top 6.
There will be.
There's a long way to go yet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
When they go on a roll, Stuart, they're a strong team. Like
They are a strong side.
aye.
You know, and we're not just talking about skill wise, as you said before, Davey. We're talking about physicalness.
Yeah, and they've got basically the same team as they had last season. They've still got them 2 big lads up front.
Aye.
They've got them big darties in the middle.
Aye.
You know.
That's where they'll do Sunderland, I think. Set pieces, the corners coming in, and the free kicks.
That second leg was horrible, wasn't it?
It was. We were never in it really. They got an early,
just bullied off the pitch.
Well, we got an early. They got an early goal, didn't they? And you just had this funny feeling, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Going to catch up on some more of the chat we're doing.
Yeah.
SJ says the problem is our fullbacks. Who's going to cover for injuries there? We've got cover everywhere apart from there. He says, what if Hume or Serkin get injured or suspended? And that was brought up on Total Sport tonight.
Well, I brought it up in the fans forum.
Yep, you did.
I said we've only got 1 left back and 1 right back, and if they get injured or suspended, we're looking at a centre half playing full back, and then somebody else playing here, and somebody else, and it disrupts the team, doesn't it?
Aye. And it'll happen. I mean, you can't avoid it.
There's only 1 boot in a way.
Yeah, of course it is.
I hope he gets booked on Wednesday night and misses a home game rather than a away game.
Aye. And that's what Danny Collins said tonight. He says that's what concerns us as well. He says the fact like we're still another transfer window away from having a bit more depth.
Yeah.
Pastor Alex VPS says, my village is having a protest against our government. Are they wanting to crack down on the fire sticks? My children are going to be sad. I'm not happy. We can't watch all the football. There's always ways around it. They've been trying for years to try and stop it here as well. I mean, even from the old Betamax videos, people used to come out with come to school, used to bring a pirate copy of a film that was at the pictures that's been gone on from the Stone Ages.
Yeah.
They'll never stop it. Jamie Bell says, Isidore is the next Henry. What a talent. 3 goals in 7 games. Fancy him to score again against Luton. That's a shout.
Yeah. I think he'd cause some trouble with his pace, like, because they do struggle against pace, Luton.
He's quick, like, isn't he?
Aye. Got long stride, isn't he? Like Ross Stewart.
Aye. Yeah, well, very similar to Sheffield Wednesday goal.
Aye.
When he at home, he just chased because he must have ran just over half of that pitch, like.
Aye.
John Nesbitt says, I think it's now time to start. And I'm getting a phone call from Spain. Spain? What's going on? I'm not picking that up, crikey. I've not had any tacos, have I? Jamie Bell says, I've said that. John Nesbitt says, I think it's now time to start and use our squad. Now the team looked a bit jaded yesterday. And Dougie says, hi, Cabbie and Davey. Hello, Dougie. Yeah, and that was also brought up on tonight's show as well. The fact, like, it was brought up the fact, like, it's a pain in the backside, this Nations League, because there's another international break on the 14th of November.
We've got a lot of games before then, though.
We've got a lot of games before them, but they're not getting a chance to recharge the batteries because they're straight in there for international call-up, some of them, aren't they?
Aye. Well, like I say, I would play Ballard on Wednesday if he's fit.
Would you start Riggy Boy? Do you think he needs a bit of a breather?
I would give him a breather, like, definitely. I'll put Brown in. Rig needs a rest. I said he needed a rest after the Berwick game, mate. He hasn't looked the same.
No.
He comes missing games a lot, doesn't he?
He does. He does.
He's one of them where you think, is he still on? You know, like...
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Steve Taylor says, hello guys, I can just imagine the referee saying to himself when Wilson is through on goal, please don't score. But they had enough chances to stop the goal. Meffam was man of the match by your countryman. That's what was said, Davey. Anthony Meffam was quality. It was a bit lucky with his to get away with a handball. I thought it would have been a penalty, but it wasn't. It was well outside the box when he handled it.
Definitely outside the box. I think that's what saved him. I think if he'd been in the box, he might give the penalty and then sent him off.
Yes. I would say.
And the goal, you know, the referee never touched the ball.
No, he didn't.
That's the rule. If it hits the ref, you've got to stop the game. Right. But if he just gets in the way, there's 9 times out of 10 that play on, didn't there?
Do you not think the whole fans are just clutching at straws, perhaps?
Oh, yeah, of course they are.
Do you know what I mean? It's the referee. It's not. We know the crack, and he did interfere with a player, didn't he? At one point, and it got there was a dropped.
But he had touched the ball then, though.
Yep.
When Dan Neil played it off him.
Aye, it certainly was. Let's get some more chat on the go. There's quite a few chats coming in here. Where we at? Dougie says, be happy with a point against Luton, and that's what you've just said, Dave. If we can come away with a point for Luton, and I think that's why it was vital to get 3 points against Hull.
Yeah, because then you're still 2 points a game, aren't you?
Aye, you are. You know, and I think after Luton, we're at home, aren't we?
Oxford on Saturday.
Aye, that's not going to be an easy game, mind.
No, there's no easy games, is there?
I watched them against West Brom, and I tell you what, the more than matched them. Oxford.
Aye, they did.
They more than matched them. I thought they were pretty decent. Colin Major's in the house.
Hello, Colin.
He says, evening lads. Davey, I told you before, the bigger they are, the harder the fall.
Well, Colin's a big lad, you know.
Is he?
Oh, aye.
Ken Walton, a member of the channel, or Ken, you all right, fella? He says, good evening to you both. Looking forward to Tuesday. It's actually Wednesday, the game.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's a Wednesday. I did a video before thinking it could be Tuesday, but, you know, it's unusual for us to play on a Wednesday. It's usually Tuesday, isn't it?
That's because we played Sunday.
Aye, that's what it'll be. Colin Major says he reckons the lads will win 1-0.
Right.
We're not saying it's impossible. It's just the fact, like, it's
no.
It's like
it'll just be hard. It'll be a hard game, like hard.
Oh, aye, of course it will. John Nesbitt says if we don't start and use the Ballards, and the other players will start to get a bit miffed and want away. We can't have players turning up with their boots knowing they are playing. And this is, that's all down to man management, isn't it?
Yeah, he doesn't like making changes, though, does he?
No,
I mean, that was the fourth game in a row with the same team.
Yeah. I mean, do you think he's just doing that? I mean, is he right to do that? I mean, we're top of the league. Do you think he doesn't want to tinker too much?
Well, I mean, you get trust in your players, didn't you? And you're always a bit to change it. But there is times where you've got to take people out, especially young ones, as in Chris Rigg and that.
Well, we overdid it with Job Bellingham, didn't we, through the season?
And we overdid it with that centre half in the first division. What do they call him? He's playing in the Prep. Is he playing? He might be playing for Norwich now. Centre half from Man City.
Centre half from Man City.
The blonde lad, man. What's his name?
I know how you mean.
Picture him.
I can picture him and all.
I think he's playing for Norwich now. I think he scored the other day.
What's his name? Does anybody in the chat know who we're on about?
Yeah.
Was he a coloured lad?
No, blonde hair. He always looked like he's overweight, but he's just a big strapping lad. What was his name?
Doyle?
Doyle, that's him, Doyle.
Callum Doyle. Well done, lads. Well done, Dougie and Steve.
Well, we burnt him out, didn't we?
Aye. That's what you got to be careful of. SJ says the last time he rotated too much, we got beat.
Aye. That's always a manager's problem, isn't it? If you rotate and lose, they'll say, well, what did you change the winning team for?
You cannot win, because if you didn't, then it's a fact. Well, you should have changed it. You didn't want to be a thingy, do you? Or Sunderland are leading Wolves 1-0 under 21s.
Still 1-0.
Still 1. Who scored?
Burke.
I beg your pardon, Dave?
Burke.
Burke scored.
Abdullah Bar's embarrassing himself, terrible.
Is he?
Aye, terrible. Stewart, it's terrible. He's lost it. He's lost it, him, Dewey's playing well, at left back. So I think that's our new left back.
You don't think Abdullah Bar will get into the first team, then?
Not a cat nail's chance. He can't even trap the ball, man.
Really? I mean, that is bad, isn't it?
He's gone right back. I think he's lost all his confidence. He didn't have much to start with. Dewey's playing well at left back, though. Bombing on, certain.
Is he?
Aye, playing well.
Yeah, we've got Cameron, Crompton, Anderson, Johnson, Bennett. How's Bennett doing? Jewison Bennett, is he doing all right?
Aye, like I say, left back, he's playing well.
Aye, Burke, Middlemiss, Jones, Bart, Walsh, Ogunsui. There's no Watson tonight.
No, he's in squad of Wednesday, isn't he?
Ah, of course he was. But poor Bar is not going to make the cut, eh?
No.
Yeah.
He'll be shipped out in January,
I would say so. There's a lot of messages as well about good luck to Marco. He'll be fine. Another post coming in that says, never fall in love with a lone player, right? Well, Chris Meffam is certainly testing Sunderland fans at the moment.
Mm-hmm. At least we've got a chance because he's out of contract.
You know. And how old is he?
26.
26. He's not that bad, is he?
No. We'll have to pay a few bob for him, though, I would think, because there'll be other teams interested, won't there?
Oh, God's sake, I would say so. I mean, if Sunderland didn't get up, you know, you would have to fancy them. Let's say it was Leeds and Sheffield United went up. You would have to fancy him to go with Leeds and Sheffield United, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
No, but Burke is the goal scorer at SJ. Watson, as Davey says, he was playing in the he was in the squad on Sunday. Dougie Stewart says if Barr gets back into the team, then Davey stands a chance.
Terrible he is. He's terrible.
He's not very old either, Barr, is he?
No. 20?
20?
Yeah.
Listening to Talk Sport at work today, and the Simon Jordan and co. And Martin Keown says, he says, out of all them teams to get promoted in that division, he says, I'd like to see Sunderland back in the Prem. And this is Martin Keown saying this today.
All right.
He says he'd like to see Sunderland. He says, because the other teams have had the chance. Sheffield United have been up there. And
Burnley,
and your Leeds. He says, I'd like to see what Sunderland can do under this new regime they've got. He says, I'd like to see them back up there. So,
what does Simon Jordan say?
I can't remember.
He doesn't like North East teams, does he?
He doesn't know. Oh, Colin Major says, congrats to the mad mistake who got married at the weekend.
Oh, is that why he was off?
No, he was doing a stream.
Aye, but he wasn't on that fans TV thing, you know, when he's normally in there. And they said congratulations. I've seen some comments saying congratulations.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, he's married.
He's a very private person, Terry. He keeps he likes to keep his private life wrapped up, doesn't he? And which is fair enough.
I wonder if it was out of the blue thing because he's never mentioned it, has he?
Well, like I say, he probably just likes to keep them things behind his closed doors, doesn't he?
Right.
They've got an option of another year at SGS, as I think he's on about Meffam there.
Yeah.
An option of another year. But it was nice of Keown to say that, like, it's
Right.
I still can't believe we're looking at the league table and we're still seeing Sunderland at the top. I mean, the league table doesn't lie, even
No,
though
no.
there's the season really yet to get started. You know,
And when if you think back to 10 games ago, Cabbie, and we were sitting 10 games ago and we thought, for us to be top of the league, we would have to be on it every week and win every game. And yet
yeah,
we haven't.
well, no, and that's because the other teams have been slipping up as well. There's not. There's not them runaway leaders like there has been in the past. Remember when
No.
Burnley just ran away with it?
Unless it's going to be us. Unless it's going to be us when we hit form.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, there's only really, how can I say, there's only really the Burnley game that's massively stood out. How Sunderland to actually steamroll a team, and it was only 1-0.
Every Wednesday we played well, didn't we?
Aye, we did and all. We certainly did. But yeah, I mean they were all whinging, weren't they? Thinking, oh, they've got their second string squad out. No, like carry on.
Wednesday night we've got some canny fixtures, haven't we?
Yeah, we'll have a look. Let's see who's.
I mean, I didn't mean easy fixtures because there's no easy games, but they're just. I think I heard on the telly last night somebody said that we'll play our next 7 games. I think we'll play 6 teams in the bottom half, something like that.
And they're the ones to win because the Sunderland have slipped up with them, haven't they?
Yeah, well, them's the sort of games. If you can get a run of wins, you're gonna like get away. Like,
well, this is what this. If a team wants the top 2, this is when teams get 7 or 8 wins on the bounce when they're playing the bottom half in the team. Sunderland in the past,
get away. Well, the other teams are playing each other.
Yeah, Sunderland in the past they've chipped over all these teams, haven't they? But so far,
yeah,
they beat Cardiff, even though it wasn't the best of performances, but they beat Portsmouth. So far, they're doing it right.
And the 2 games we lost could have went either way.
Yes, the 2 games have lost. We all know what happened at Watford.
Plymouth and Watford. Them games could have went either way. We could have won both them, no mind through them.
We could have done. So the matches tomorrow, we've got Cardiff. These are all 7:45, apart from 8 o'clock Coventry against QPR. We've got Cardiff, Portsmouth, Leeds against Watford, Oxford Derby, Preston Norwich, Sheffield Wednesday, Swansea, Stoke Bristol City, QPR Coventry. So there's not that many really tasty ties there. Leeds, Watford, we'll keep an eye on. Wednesday we have the big crunching games: the Blackburn, West Brom, Hull against Burnley, of course Luton, Sunderland, Millwall, Plymouth, and badly informed Middlesbrough at home to Sheffield United.
Ooh, could do a better winning, eh?
Oh, we could do and all. So I'm just looking at the league table. I'm still amazed how Coventry City is still 4th off bottom.
Well, can it buy a win, can they?
The last few games they've lost, drew, lost, won, lost. That's, I mean, they were a great team last season, then, weren't they?
Yeah. He must be on the brink, him, that manager.
I'm surprised with that. Like, who's the manager? Robbins.
Yeah, Mark Robbins.
I'm surprised with that, mind.
He's been there a long time. He'll be due to be sacked. Like,
aye.
You only get so long, don't you?
You do. Sheffield Wednesday, Luton and Stoke are creeping up the league. 18th, 17th and 16th respectively are next to each other. Plymouth, they got a mad result, didn't they, the other day? 5
now. 5 now,
I know. Let's catch up on the old chatty chat. Yeah, congrats to Mad Mistake got married. Congrats to Terry, says Dougie. SJ says, Labrie said to wait until 20 games before we can judge where we're looking at to be in the league. We always mess up with teams near the bottom, and that's what I've said in the past we're doing. That's what needs to change.
I wouldn't class Wednesday's game as playing a team at the bottom, even though the 17th, they're not a 17th position side. Like,
no, that's a false position. That I don't care what anybody says.
Well, I would be disappointed if we slipped up against the likes of QPR and I
Oxford
think
on
we've got
Saturday.
them next week. QPR next week.
Aye.
In Oxford, I wouldn't like to think we slipped up against them. They should be guaranteed 3-pointers.
We haven't got a bad history down QPR, like.
Lately, we've been winning pretty confident, haven't we? Like 2s and 3s.
Was it the last match when we won them on the League Cup in the penalties?
Aye, that was a few years ago.
And I think our next match was Arsenal away.
Aye.
And Jack Clark scored a goal.
We got beat 5-2 or something, didn't we?
Aye.
We were winning 1-0, weren't we?
I can't remember.
We were winning 1-0.
We had our yellow strip on, didn't we?
Broadhead scored.
Oh, it was Broadhead. That's who it was. It was Broadhead.
Aye.
Another player we shouldn't have let go.
We were winning 1-0, and then about 10 minutes later, we were 2-1 down or something.
I wonder how Jack Clark's feeling now. The fact, like, they've not won a game. They've not won a game, Ipswich United.
Did you not see that City he missed?
I didn't see it. I heard about it.
Oh, you have to watch it. He must have scored 100 of them for Sunderland.
Why? What happened, Davey? Explain it. What happened?
Well, they rolled the ball across to the penalty spot, and he come running onto it and just shanked it.
No way.
I shanked it really badly, like as if he'd never kicked a ball in his life.
Jeez.
And I mean, that was his game for Sunday. He used to just whip them in, didn't he?
See, the pressures have been in the Premier League. If there's any,
you'll have to try and have a look at it. It's early on in the game and all, like the first 10 minutes.
They were playing Everton, weren't they?
Aye.
Bloody hell. And if there's chances like that, they've got to he's got to put them away, like, in the Premier League.
Yeah. I don't think he's finished the game for them yet. He gets brought over every week.
That's what happens when you step up.
Aye.
But I was surprised to hear like Ipswich hadn't won a game.
No, never won a game. They might not either.
I know. Southampton looked doomed, mind. I mean, they were 2-0 up and they lost 3-2.
Manager will not be there much longer either.
No, I mean against fellow promotion. No,
he'll not change his ways.
Because Leicester came up with them, and you expect them to lose that game from 2-0 up. Fair enough against the Man Cities, the Liverpools, etc.
Yeah, but not Leicester.
The fellow rivals Leicester. No, Dougie Stewart says exactly. He says got to beat teams at the bottom to stand a chance of getting anywhere. But you know what we're like. But hopefully this is not the Sunderland we're used to.
No.
John Nesbitt says we will beat Luton Wednesday night 2-0. Pay back for that playoff disaster. This time we have a full squad to pick from. I know. Somebody I've never heard of, Kev Atkinson's in the chat.
Aye, Kevin Sword.
He says, how many players who played on Sunday would make our team in the Premier League if we went up?
Oh, that's an interesting question, that.
Good question, that, Kevin Atkinson, lad.
We've gone through them. Just gone through them and say a yes, maybe, or not.
Right, well, let's have a look then. We'll start with Patro.
I would say yes, definitely.
Let's just bring these up. So you think definitely, Patterson would definitely cut it,
definitely.
Yeah?
There's worse keepers than Patterson in that Premier League now.
Well, I suppose. Dan Ballard?
Yes.
I do agree with that one as well. Meffin, even though he's sort of a Premier League player in a way, isn't he?
Oh, yes. Yes, you'd have to say yes. He's played 50-odd games in the Premier League or something.
I would think he has, aye. Who else can we look at?
Serkin, yes.
You go with Dennis Serkin, would you?
Yeah, definitely. And the other one, Trey Hume.
Trey Hume.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he had a good game, mind.
Aye.
Against Hull. He was a bit off it against Leeds, I think, but you are going to have the odd game like that, aren't you? Luke O'Nien.
Oh,
that's a funny one, isn't it?
Definitely. I would definitely have to say a no, even though I absolutely love the bones of him. I think you would get found out in the Premier League, bless him.
You think Luke O'Nien is a quality championship player, but that's his limit, you think?
Yeah, yeah. I think he knows that now.
You think so?
Aye. I'd love to be proved wrong, mind you, because I absolutely love the bones of him.
Oh, who doesn't? How could you not love Luke O'Nien? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What about Neil?
Oh, yes.
Dan Neil, you going for yes?
Yes.
Job?
Yes. He'll be even better next season.
He's another funny one, and I don't think you'll say yes. Patrick Roberts?
No. Not quick. He hasn't got the pace.
He's losing the pace, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, he's getting older and he just wouldn't make it in the Premier League.
Riggy Boy? Bit too young for him yet?
You can call that like.
Aye. Mundell? Touch
Too
and go.
young to call. Too early to call.
And Isidore? I would say that's too early as well to
Too
call.
early. Yeah.
And we've got Moore. These are the subs.
Nah.
Brown.
Nah.
We know what the answer is for Rusin and Ashish.
No chance.
Connolly, which I thought he played all right. Did you think he played all right, Connolly, against Hull?
I mean, he didn't have much to do, but I think he'll be a player for us this season.
Eh?
I think he'll be a player for us. We'll get goals out of him.
I definitely think we will and all. Elesic, nobody can answer that one. Hajeldi, I don't think so.
No.
Watson's too young.
Yeah.
And Johnson.
No.
So there we go then, really. Good question, that one, isn't it?
Aye, good.
SJ says, not many, Kev. We have to spend to stay up unless we'd look to bank the cash. Kev also says, then how many positions would we need to improve on to stay up? Jack Reed says, how are the Cabbie? Hello, Jack. How you doing, mate?
All of them.
Yeah, of course it is, isn't it?
You can't expect it any other way. But you get 100 million for going up. But if you want to be like Luton, they only spent about 40, 50 of it.
Is that because of the fair play rule or whatever you call it? Or the...
I just didn't think they wanted to blur it all to steer up. I mean, Ipswich, they had to go up last season. The money they spent.
And if they did go down, they've got the parachute payments again.
Parachute payments, you say? So they've cracked it there, like.
Dougie Stewart says, did you see that video of Roy Cropper from Corrie and Leicester fans chanting 2-0 up, you effed it up? It was either a massive look-alike of Roy Cropper or it was actually him.
Aye, I've seen it, aye.
John Nesbitt says, we have good players, but to stay in the Premier League, we need a midfield general and 2 quality strikers. These owners won't spend, so we'll be in the mix to be relegated.
You didn't know that. You're saying they'll not spend. You didn't know because they've never been there, have they?
No. Well, you've got to, haven't you? I mean, every year that goes past, the gaps in the Premier League, it's getting divided and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, like the top 6, and then you've got that sort of middle-ish teams that not going to go down, but they're not going to go into the Champions League. They just hover. They just hover there, don't they? And then you've got the bottom,
the ones who struggle every season.
Right, the bottom 5, bottom 6. But it's getting to the stage now where the bottom 3 is a league of its own now, isn't it? There's even a gulf between 4th and 5th and 6th off bottom. That's the way it's gone.
Yeah. It's difficult. It's so difficult without spending mega money.
You know that.
But we've spent mega money in the Premier before and it didn't work out, did it?
It didn't. But this is where team spirit comes in, though. You know, if you've got a good team spirit, a good team morale, that can carry you over the line and all. You know. Any news on the under-21s? Latest scores?
I don't know. That's Jacob's baby.
It was him. He's a massive Leicester fan. Is that right? Kevin Atkinson says, as teams these days set up to face one striker up front, could Isidore and Connolly make a good two up front like Quinnix and Phillips? Or is the
Yeah.
4-4-2 formation a thing
Dead.
of the past?
Yeah.
Why do
Thing
you
of
think?
the past.
Why do you think it's a thing of the past?
I think it's because all teams like three in the middle, didn't they?
Mm.
They always want three midfielders in. And nearly every team plays with three in the middle.
The thing of the past.
I think it is. I kind of think of any team that plays 4-2 now.
That's strange, that like, isn't it?
There's more teams plays none up front than they play two up front.
Sunderland still 1-0 up. 0-0 against Nottingham Forest Palace. I'm glad I've not missed much there then.
That's a relegation battle straight away.
You know, Palace have always been thereabouts, haven't they? They're not so much a yo-yo team now, but they never get anywhere higher than sort of mid-table, do they? They've always been a physical side, Palace. Huge physical side. Ken Walton says, thought Sunday Mirror was cool when the column called the lads the Black Kittens because of all the kids that were playing. The Black Kittens.
Aye.
I didn't say that and that but did that result against Hull City surprise you then?
No.
No?
Definitely not.
We've got a good record down there, you know.
Yeah. Cabbie, after the first half an hour, I thought we were going to win a getting goal after goal, but we just seemed to just stop when we got to the box.
Yeah, as I said before, I remember that time when we what manager got sacked and Ricky Sprazier took over, and I think we won 4-0 down there. It was his first game when we played Hull, we won 4-0. Who got the sack for Ricky Sprazier to take over?
Steve Bruce?
I don't know, was it Steve Bruce?
I didn't know. I remember him chatting out though. He was a miserable get now, wasn't he?
He was, because he was caretaker for a while, and then the Sunderland fans were like, I got to make him manager. Pakaka Andrew, hello mate, welcome on board. He says, what a result on Sunday. How were the lads? Come on. Yeah, it was a strange one. And it was Roy Keane, apparently.
That's it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
Was it Roy Keane? I don't know.
I thought it was a long time before Roy Keane, wasn't it?
Ricky Sprazier. Can you remember the game when we beat Hull 4-0?
Aye.
Because he was like the manager's number 2 or something, wasn't he? Sprazier. Well, it wasn't.
Couldn't imagine Roy Keane's number 2.
Someone will know. I'm sure Keane, he says, SJ says, I'm sure Keane got sacked after getting beat off Bolton. Could have done, but I don't know if it was Sprazier that came in. Wasn't that
Lee Johnson did.
Well, it was 6-6 now, was it?
Aye.
I don't know who that manager was. Someone's bound to know. Someone is bound to know. That's when we didn't long sign Kenwyn Jones, I think, you know. I think he bagged a couple of goals that night.
Right. Aye.
So what's everybody's prediction then for the Luton Town game? Davey, what are you going to go for?
Juicy scores in.
What are you going to go for, Dave?
I'll go without Colin, 1-0.
You're going 1-0. Ooh, Isidore.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for 0-0. I'm going to go for a 0-0. I'll be happy with that, you know.
That'll be a first.
It would, but I would be happy with a point.
We've scored in every game this season.
Yep. Someone said on Total Sport tonight, this time last season, we had 3 points less. That's all we had. Does that sound right?
Nah.
We're only 3 points ahead now than what the same time was what we was last season.
God, you can't believe it, can you?
And I think it was Danny Collins that brought that up.
Bloody hell.
And I got a shock when he said that, but I think that last season there was runaway teams, Burnley, and that were just winning 6 or 7 on the bounce, and I think that's why we were way off the pace.
And now we're in the top 4 or 5, but we lost our first 2 games, didn't we?
Aye, but yeah, I find that hard to believe myself when he said it. But we were only 3 points ahead.
We lost our first 2 games, and yet we're only 3 points difference. Frightening.
It does, doesn't it?
But we had a bad run, though, didn't we? Round about November.
Oh, it was awful. It was bloody
when
depressing.
When Mowbray got sacked.
When Mowbray got sacked, it was to me that's when the season was out, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
it was a right mess, wasn't it? And then because Pritchard left, didn't he? It was just all falling to pieces.
Aye.
SJ's going 1-1 against Luton. D Hall, hello D Hall. He's going 2-2 with Connolly to score. A lot of draws coming in.
Good.
John Nesbitt says 2-0 Luton. Just had a hard match against Watford. A so-called derby. I say, are you thinking we're going to win against Luton, or Luton are going to win 2-0? I don't know. But they're getting a new ground as well, Luton, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if Sunderland are still going to be top of the league by Christmas then. As you said before, when we play these teams that are in the bottom section, if we can string 7 wins to go on the bounce, which is a big ask, then that's we'll
pull away.
That's when we'll pull away. I mean, when was the last time Sunderland won more than 3 on the bounce? They won 3-4 on the bounce, didn't they, this season?
Yeah. Well, that's the first time they've done it.
At the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
But I'm talking any other time of the season.
The end of, not last season, the end of the season before we won a few, didn't we? Because that's how we sneaked into the playoffs. Didn't we beat?
I do remember a season when it was the Peter Reid era, and we were in the Championship looking to get promoted. We were going for 10 wins on the bounce.
Aye.
And we were leading 3-0 against Watford at Watford, and it finished 3-3.
God. We've never had a good record at Watford, have we?
No, it's strange, but we were 3-0 up. I think that was the cheer up Peter Reid. Cheer up Peter Reid era. When we had Michael Bridges just coming on as a sub. But unless I'm wrong, but I'm sure it was something like we were going for 9 or 10 wins on the bounce. We were phenomenal. Went through this phase. We were class. Who else has come? I've got more predictions here. Dougie Stewart says we'll go for a 1-0 win again. Yeah, if we win every single game at the end of the season 1-0, that'll do me. He's a big shout from the Packer Acker Andrew. He's going Sunderland 3, Luton 1.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, wasn't it Luton that did Luton get up when we first went down into Division 1?
Oh, Christ. Into Division 1?
When we first went down Division 1 and Jack Ross was the manager.
Yeah. He didn't tap us down, did he?
No. He took over Coleman.
Aye.
Because he couldn't keep us up in the Championship. And
I know what you mean. So Luton won the Championship in the First Division Championship?
The First Division. I don't know if they won it that time.
But they went up.
I'm sure they did, because I was away in Salou, and it was about August time or so. It was just the beginning of the season, and I think it was our second game.
How did you get the Salou swim?
I got the bus.
You should have just jumped on them boats.
Jumped on them boats, I know. I went on my unicycle.
You know, when all the migrants get out, you could have just jumped in and went the other way.
It just went the other way, right? You wouldn't have, do you know what? They wouldn't have battered an eyelid, would they? God's sake. Right. No, we drew that game 1-1. That time I think we took the lead and they equalised. For 1-1. I can't remember who scored for us though, but I'm sure Luton went up and they were in the championship.
Aye.
It was Luton and Barnsley, I think, were the teams that went up that year.
Yeah.
And Charlton, as we all know, in the playoffs. Gary Hoyle, hello Gary. He says, "Got to be so wary against Luton. What a bogey ground that is, and I'm sure they'll be up for it." After the recent
playing the top of the league team, that'll be right up their street. They'll be busting a gut to bully us.
Oh, they will do. Colin Major says Steve Bruce took over from Ricky Sprazier.
Oh, there you go. I was close.
So it could have been Roy Keane, you know. Somebody ringing you, Davey.
Gemma, couldn't get off. 11 messages.
Yeah?
Are you there?
I'll be finishing in about 10 minutes. Can you hear us, Davey?
Yeah, not very quiet. You're very quiet.
You what, sir? Okay. It's just the wife's going to pick the barn up.
Right.
Can you hear us all right now?
Nah.
I don't know, I think something's maybe disturbed your sound when somebody tried ringing you there, Davey.
Let's have a look.
I can hear you perfectly fine, like.
It's all turned up.
Dougie Stewart says, "Cabbie, can we swap cats? Mine is being a pest at the moment." You what, Sue? Oh, and not because of the shopping? Oh, I know. If I park at the side, I get told off by Irene for parking there. What side? The other side you on about? What, behind her? Aye. I'm getting told off because I parked my car behind Susan. She needs to get out for the kids.
Oh, right.
I'm getting told off every day. I always get told off. It's married life, isn't it? When the missus is right, she's right. And when she's wrong, she's still right. Oh, dear me. So got Luton Town coming up. You say we got Oxford at home. Are we doing another show Are we doing another show on Friday, Davey?
Aye. Where you going?
I can hear you.
Fucking state of this, man. Yeah. Is that better?
Aye, somebody trying to ring you.
Aye. You can just text them to tell them to piss off.
Sunderland 2, Wolves 0, as my mate Brett Gibbs has just said. Ah, class. Sunderland down to 10 men. And
good run, the 21s, hasn't it?
I know. This is a cup game, apparently, a Premier League Cup.
Cup.
Sunderland down to 10 men and still wiping the floor with teams, he says. I'm asking him who scored. They always seem to play when we're on live on a Monday. That must be a regular fixture.
No, it is. Monday nights, aye.
Aye. I might have to write to them and tell them to pack it in. It's clashing with our programme. Where we at? Who's ringing Davey again, says Ashjay. Oh, it was Barr who scored.
Oh, are you joking?
It was Barr.
It must have deflected off him.
Oh, dear me. Oh, I'm just asking him, was it a good goal, Brett? It must have deflected off his backside, was it?
No.
That's mental. We were just saying it. It was a class goal, to be fair.
Oh.
There we are, Davey.
He'll be in on Wednesday night now.
He'd be in on Wednesday night, be on the first team sheet. How mad is that? You should have shut your mouth there, Davey. Like.
Hello.
Oh, I was not expecting that, man. That's funny. That is funny. D Hall says Keane's last game was 4-1 loss to Bolton Wanderers on 29th of November 2008. Ha ha, says SJ. Bar is good now, Davey.
Get him in the team.
Get him in the team, aye. Kev Atkinson says, crazy to think Keane was 16 years ago.
Aye.
Aye, and we nearly had him for the second time and all. Think that was a good move not getting him that time?
Oh, I think, well, yeah, he's out the football now, man. He's just a pundit.
And he's getting good money for doing that and all, you know.
Oh, very good.
You know, and how easy must that be to just literally talk about something that we've just watched for 90 minutes? You know, how hard can that be?
I know.
Because he doesn't say much, does he, Keno? He just sits, he's quiet. But he's good with Michael Richards. I love them two together. I think they're funny. They should have their own show together. Have you heard Michael Richards laugh, man?
Aye.
SJ says Bar to replace Rig on Wednesday. Do you know what? We wouldn't complain if Bar started banging them in, because we want every Sunderland player.
No, I want them to score. I want them to be good.
I want every player to do well. Aye, Summer. You okay? Mummy's just gone to pick Caden up, okay? Yeah. Mummy's just going to pick Caden up. Stay here with Daddy? Okay, 2 minutes. I'll turn the telly on for you, alright? What? Okay, then. Let's turn the telly on. Hold on, Davey.
Right.
Come on, then. Do you miss them times, Davey, when your kids are young and you're up and down?
Not really. Saying that they're still here when they leave home, man. There's still as much bother.
Is that right?
Oh, definitely.
SJ says, could Watson play instead of Roberts? It's a big step up for him, isn't it?
Aye.
I think.
What, did you see Watson there?
Aye.
Plays on the left, man.
He plays on the left, Watson.
Well, aye.
I think Watson at the moment, he's a last 15-minute job, isn't he, for Sunderland?
Oh, definitely.
You know, breaking him in that way. John Nesbitt says, good night, lads. Catch you another time. Good night, John, mate. Cheers for tuning up. The Packer Andrew says, I never liked him. What a goon. I think he's on about Roy Keane there. Dougie Stewart says, Cabbie, you and Davey are better pundits than Keno.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Colin Major says, Davey, that was Bar on the phone to put you right. Oh, dear me. D. Hall says, I wondered about Watson for Roberts. Not sure he favours on the right. No, not at all. Who was that guy in the chat that time you said you knew him from working in the gasworks or something? Who was that?
Aye, Stevie Taylor. He's been on. He's been on.
Is that who it was it?
Aye, Stevie Taylor.
I was trying to think who the other person was. Stevie Taylor. So have you enjoyed the show tonight, Davey?
Aye, I was day, man. Brilliant.
Aye. So you up for coming and doing a show on Friday?
Yes, definitely. We'll have the game to talk about and then Saturday's game to preview.
We'll be sandwiched between the two, won't we? Because we said, I think twice a week's decent, isn't it? And of course, unless, our lives sometimes get in the way, because you went and did your move on, did your move gone all right?
Oh, been doing it all. I've just finished the day. She's finally in the day.
Oh,
she still texted us 11 times. We've been there since 7 o'clock this morning.
That your daughter, you say?
My daughter, aye.
You got 2 kids?
2 kids, aye. My son lives in Scotland.
Ah, nice one. Is your daughter local?
She's just moved to Etherley.
Etherley.
It's near Bishop Auckland.
Oh, localish then.
Eh?
Localish, Bishop Auckland.
She's just moved from Barney Castle, though.
Ah, right. Gary Hoyle says, how would the kids react to Keno in charge with one of his tirades? They'd buckle.
You were better off with this manager, just cool and calm, isn't he?
Aye, absolutely. Bit of a bully. Didn't want a bully like Keno, do you?
No. He's starting to smile a bit now, Regis, isn't he?
He is. He's getting there slowly. Do you think we've not, because we've not really spoke about Regis Debris, have we? I mean, you think he seems to be settling in a little bit?
Aye, definitely.
You know, and
when you listen to him talking, man, you're glued, aren't you? I love the way he talks.
Aye, I know. It just reminds me of a Wenger, an Arsene Wenger. Ken Walton says, thanks for the crack. Steve Taylor, SGS says, didn't he play for the Mags? He did, but it's not that Steve Taylor we're on about.
No, it's not that Steve Taylor.
Dougie Stewart says, thanks for a great show. He says 10 out of 10. No, thanks everybody for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's doggy time now.
It's doggy time for Davey, of course it is. And, Simon Pride. Is it Simon Pride, his name?
Huh?
What's his name?
Off the radio.
Aye. Is it Simon Pride?
Aye.
Who does he support?
Right, Newcastle.
Is it really?
Well, he really supports Berwick.
Does he?
Aye, but he's more of a black and white than a red and white, definitely.
Because he comes across, he's a good presenter. Like he's very neutral, isn't he, when he's presenting his show?
Aye, it's got to be. It's his job, isn't it?
It's his job, aye.
But he is black and white.
He must be from Berwick then, as I take it.
Aye, he's a Berwick fan, aye.
Ah, there we go. Well, anyway, Davey, thanks for popping on as usual, mate. It's been good as always. And catch you later, Davey.
See you later, boys. See you later, lads.
It's all right, mate. Well, thanks very much, everybody, for tuning in tonight. It's been a cracking show, as always. Walkies Davey, it says Dougie. But thanks very much indeed. SJ, thank you. And thanks for all the round of applause there. And we'll see you on, well, we've got the live watch-along and commentary of the Luton Town game on Wednesday. Let's hope it's another 3 points. And, of course, we'll do the Mackem Cabbie and Davey show this Friday as well. So, enjoy the rest of your night.